Hello and welcome to Herald TV News Bulletin with me, Orina. 3 workers died in a major explosion at Zuari agrochemical factory at Zuari Nagar. A major blast occurred apparently while the workers were repairing a tank. Police are presently at the site and further investigations are on. The deceased are apparently the staff of the contractor engaged with the company. They were performing shutting down operations of the plant by using hot works technology.
3 contract workers died in a major explosion at Zuari Industries, Goa. They were performing shutting down operations of the plant. The 3 workers apparently used hot works technology, which led to the explosion.
Shutdown on from 30th April. So this is our annual maintenance shutdown. So a condensate tanker job चलता contractor. So when the job was going on, so एक बारीकसो blast जालो. तातूंत 3 fatalities जाली. The contractor was working with due permissions and all of it. And because this is annual shutdown, an investigation is on. So people from factory boilers are there. Deputy collector is there. Police also is there.
So
But they are investigating.
So they say tweet केला की ammonia tank blast झाला.
No, ammonia tank. It is a condensate tank. Condensate. So कोणते ammonia? I don't know how it got to it. It's a condensate where steam is there.
आणि किती झाले केन्ना झाले आणि मागीर
Happened at around 2:45. So 2:45 when they were working on the tank. They have to work on the tank for removing. This is a shutdown tank, so the tank has to be inspected. So when they were removing the nozzle, so the tank cover, so that time while they were it got ignited with some gas. This got cutting, cutting. So that's the reason it got blast. But investigation is on what exactly must have become the reason. So that is what they are going to hear.
सध्या ऑफिसर तुमच्या प्लांटाचे कलेक्टर जे आयला आसा आता कोण कोण आयला होता
डेप्युटी कलेक्टर आसा, DYSP आसा, PI आयला आणि फ्रॉम फॅक्टरी इन्स्पेक्टरेट साइड ही आयल्या. So they are investigating. Exact cause will be known once they give us a report.
only 3 persons were working or
Only 3 persons were working.
any arrest has been made in this?
No arrest has been made.
आणि
They are investigating.
आणि कोण आशिल्लो पण थिंगा
ना आणि कोण
तिगूच जाण
तिगूच जाण काम करता.
खंयचे ते कितें
They are from Bokaro. Is a contractor, Bokaro structure works, who are our contractor for last 5-6 years. So they usually do the jobs, so mechanical jobs. So ताका लागून they were doing. Unfortunate incident has happened. Comment now. पण investigation are curtailed exactly कितें जालां. It looks that way, but I cannot comment.
आता बॉडी गॅस कटिंग
Yes.
बॉडी खंय गेली
बॉडी इमिजिएटली आमी ताका आमच्या एम्बुलन्सान घालून SMRCन गेले. पूण दे वर डिक्लेअर्ड डेड बिकॉज दे फेल फ्रॉम द हाईट.
कितल्या हाईट आसली
It's about 6 meters.
एमटी आसली tank. थँक्यू.
Story by Kiran Borkar for Herald TV.
The construction of the Captain of Ports building in the water continues despite the case being before the National Green Tribunal. Petitioners before the NGT observed that it is possible that the case will go against the Captain of Ports and so they want to complete the project fast. The North Goa PDA has washed its hands off saying the building is not on land. The Captain of Ports is not bothered about biodiversity. Government is not bothered to put scientists on the committees, with the result that the courts have to do the work, petitioners contended.
The construction of Captain of Ports building in water continues despite the case being before the National Green Tribunal. It is possible that the case will go against the Captain of Ports and so they want to complete the project fast, petitioners say. The Captain of Ports is not bothered about biodiversity.
Green Tribunal, so they know that the things will go against them. So they want to complete. How can you build a building inside water? And this is all done by the BJP. You cannot say that this was the thing is, the idea was being floated many years back. That is the idea that we should have a building. It is like a Don Quixote thing. When you have place for the building on land, You cannot go into water. And what they did, they went to various NGPDA, and they said we are building in water. So NGPDA is saying, oh, this is not to do with us. हे माझं काम नाही.
सो आतां ही जेटी आहा न्हू ती आतां केस चालू आहा पूण आतां कितें फुडें तुमचो डिमांड कितें आहा?
गोवन करपाची आनी फायन. See, listen, NGT has already told the Goa government and punished these government officers. तेजें काम कितें? पुरोवपाचें, बिल्डींग काडपाची. ताका सांग बंदिलां घालूंक सोदता तो नॉट. सेम थिंग एमपीचे थिंगा पुरोवंक सोदता. they are experts. पुरोवपाक, दोरा पुरोवपाक, सिमेंट घालपाक. They are not bothered about biodiversity. They are not bothered about the environment. They are not about climate. You see now climate change. Why climate change? Because this place, water, carbon dioxide gets inside, and the greenhouse effect is less. If you remove the biodiversity, the whole Panjim will become hot. Atal pole temperature rise hota.
Devendra Kankar for Herald TV.
Ahead of the hearing into a public interest litigation on May 4th, challenging the cabinet status to ex-Chief Minister Pratap Singh Rane, the Congress veteran submitted a reply affidavit leaving it to the wisdom of the judiciary to decide the legality of Goa government's notification regarding according him lifetime cabinet rank. The 83-year-old emphasized that he had not asked for any such honor or privilege from the government and that it was bestowed upon him by the state in its own discretion and wisdom.
Rane has urged the High Court to decide the legality of the lifetime cabinet status. He said he would accept whatever decision the court takes with all humility. Rane had decided in December 2021 to not contest the 2022 assembly polls in view of his advanced age. Pratap Singh Rane further stated that the suggestion that his decision not to stand for elections held this year was induced by the lifetime cabinet status notification issued on January 7th was completely false. So also his meeting in September 2021 with Devendra Fadnavis was nothing more than a courtesy call, he said. A division bench of the High Court comprising of Justice M.S. Sonak and Justice R.N. Lada will on Wednesday continue hearing the petition filed by Advocate Aries Rodriguez, challenging the constitutional validity of the notification by the government.
Eid ul-Fitr was celebrated with religious fervor on Tuesday. There was namaz offered at various mosques all across the state. It is believed that the Holy Quran was first revealed to Prophet Muhammad during the month of Ramadan. So Muslims consider this a holy month and hold fast from dawn to dusk and dedicate themselves to praying to Allah. Eid ul-Fitr marks the end of Ramadan. Muslims celebrate this festival by wearing festive clothes, attending namaz, greet each other and have get-togethers and a sumptuous meal.
Eid ul-Fitr was celebrated with fervor on Tuesday. There was namaz offered at various mosques all across the state. Muslims greeted each other and had get-togethers and a sumptuous meal. Since they have refrained from eating during the day, Muslims plan elaborate meals for Eid ul-Fitr. Feasts are organized in every Muslim household and dishes like pulao, salan, biryani, halim, nihari, kebabs, kofte and much more are prepared. The big draws of this day are the classic sevia, sheer, korma, shahi tukda and firni.
सबसे पहले मैं तमाम हिंदुस्तानी भाइयों की खिदमत में ईद मुबारकबाद पेश करता हूँ। तमाम हिंदुस्तानियों को बहुत बहुत मुबारक हो और हम चाहते हैं कि अल्लाह तबारक व तआला आज के इस मुबारक दिन के सदक़े हमारे मुल्क में अमन अता फरमाए, हमारे मुल्क में चैन सुकून अता फरमाए। हम तमाम हिंदुस्तानी भाई मिलकर रहें, इत्तेहाद के साथ रहें, इत्तेफाक के साथ रहें। हमारे अंदर जो भी नाइत्तेफाकी है अल्लाह इसको दूर फरमाते।
नमाज घेतात 2 रकात आमची नमाज आसता ईदुल फितरची कितें तितून आमी अशें मॅसेज दिता की जितले आसा ते गरीब भुरग्यांनी कितें फितराचे हिशोबान आमी ते लोकां पर्यंत पावपाचें, कोणाक मेळना कितें ना तसल्या मनशान ते पावूंक जाय, ते फितरा म्हणटा ते आमी, म्हणजे कोणी असं हे रावंक जायना की आमचे उपाशी पोटी कोणी रावंक जायना।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। अल्लाह का बहुत बहुत एहसान है कि आज उसने हमें ईद का दिन अता फरमाया। आज के दिन पूरी दुनिया में जहाँ जहाँ मुसलमान ईद की नमाज के लिए जमा होते हैं, इबादत करते हैं, नमाज पढ़ते हैं, अल्लाह की बारगाह में शुक्राना अदा करते हैं और अपनों के साथ साथ गैरों को भी ये पैगाम देते हैं कि ये अमन का दिन है, शांति का दिन है।
आमच्या आजच्या ईदच्या निमित्तान आम्ही सगळे भावांनी सगळ्यांनी मिळून प्रार्थना केल्या। मस्जिदीन आमचे 3-4 प्रार्थना झाले आणि आम्ही सोदता की सगळेजण आम्ही गोंयकार मिळून जावचे आणि आम्ही देवाकडे मागला की आमचे पीस आणि हार्मोनी आहा ते गोंयान सारखे जावचे आणि आमकां हिंदू मुस्लिम सगळे मिळून जावपाचे आसा आणि आम्ही देवाकडे मागल्या की सगळे आमचे सगळ्यांनी जाय तशे बरे भशेन जावचे आणि एक दुसऱ्याक मिळून जावचे म्हणून।
आमचे सगळे कमिटीच्या तर्फे सगळ्यांक ईद मुबारक आणि सगळ्या गोंयकारांक पीस बरेपणान आमी ईद केली आणि सगळ्यांक बरें दिसले। आमी आमचे हिंदू भाव क्रिस्तांव भाव सगळे आमी एक रावया आणि सगळ्यांक आमी बरो संदेश धाडया। ओके, सलाम अलैकुम, गुड मॉर्निंग आणि हैप्पी ईद। चलो,
मेरी जानिब से और साफा मस्जिद कमेटी की जानिब से तमामी अफराद को ईद उल फित्र की तहे दिल से मुबारकबाद पेश करता हूँ और अल्लाह की बारगाह में दुआ गो हूँ कि रब्बे करीम आज की इस इबादत को हमारी अपनी बारगाह में शर्फ़ कबूलियत अता फ़रमाए और बिलखुसूस हम अपने मुल्क भारत के लिए अल्लाह की बारगाह में खुसूसी दुआ करते हैं कि अल्लाह ताला हमारे मुल्क में अमन व शांति, अमन व सुकून अता फ़रमाए।
Story by Devendra Gaonkar for Herald TV. Story by Prakash Gadekar for Herald TV.
Although Goa is one of the famed tourist destinations in India, it cannot shake off the image of beggars. Recently, the tourism minister orchestrated his wish to make Goa a high-end tourism destination, but with street beggars encircling the tourist centres, eateries, bus stand, railway stations, markets across the state, one cannot imagine how this would be possible.
Beggars hold Pancham, tourism and Goa's fair name to ransom. Street beggars encircle the tourist centres, eateries, bus stand, railway station and markets across the state. Beggars paint a sorry picture of the city and Goa tourism in general. Recently, a video of a child affecting in Pancham city at Garcia de Orta garden went viral. Hordes of beggars constantly hassle tourists at Pancham church, the municipal garden and 18 June road, painting a sorry picture of the city and Goa tourism in general.
This is in Panjim opposite to Mr. Baker. Look at the situation here. Look at this. Look at this.
भाई म्हाका सांगा, हे हांगा ते बेगर्स आनी ते कितें करता, लोकांक खूब त्रास करता?
खूप त्रास करता मरे, खूप त्रास करता हांगा। हे पळय आतां उबे आहा ते पळय।
म्हणजे कितें करता ते एकजे?
ते लोकांक न्ही कितें विण्यो घालपाचें आनी कितें हे ते पांयातले घालपाचें आनी कितें तेंच्या फाटसूनच लागता ते।
नाका म्हणल्यार कितें फाटसून लागता?
तरी फाटसून लागता। पुलिसांनी खूब फावटी पुलिसांनी म्युन्सिपाल्टीन ताका व्हरून भितर घातलं तरी ते 10 मिनटांनी येता भायर पडटा ते काम सुरूच ते कोणाक दिना। आतां पळय ते सेले बिले विकता बिंदास सगळे विकता लोकांक खूब त्रास करता, फाटसून लागता लोकांच्या सगळ्या।
आणि ते बेगर्स आसता भोंवता खबर आहा ते बी खूब त्रास करता?
खूब त्रास करता।
आयकना न्हू पुलिशेन घातलेलं आयकना न्हू?
पुलिशेन खूब फावटी तांकां हें केलें। पुलीस आसता, म्युन्सिपाल्टी येता गाडी घेवन तिचें सामान सगळें भरून व्हरतात तरी आसतना ते परते येतात।
खंय रावता ते? हांगाच रावता?
एरियेकूच रावता ते। 5:30 जाली की वयता ते मागीर।
5:30 जाली की वयता?
सकाळी येता 9:30 9:30 ते 5:30।
थँक्यू.
Devendra Gankar for Herald TV.
Villagers of Odle-Bath, Talegaon are facing acute water shortage amid early summer, even after complaining to the PWD department and the MLA. It has been 3 months that regular water supply hasn't been restored. The villagers say that they have to get water tankers to store water for the day, which is not feasible. Public tap water supply only comes between 6 and 6:30 am, but the pressure of the water is very low. The residents threaten to protest in front of the PWD office if their water supply is not restored.
Villagers of Odle-Bath, Talegaon are facing acute water shortage amid early summer. It has been 3 months that regular water supply hasn't been restored. Villagers have complained to the PWD department and the MLA, but no action has been taken.
आता फाटले 3 महिने झाले काय उदकूच ना. आम्ही टँकर हाडटा, कंप्लेनी दिला परेशान सांगता तेजे रिस्पॉन्स काय ना. आणि टँकर म्हटले कितले फावटी हाडटले. गव्हर्मेंटान सांगला 16,000 कितें उदक दिलें. 16,000चे आमकां अर्दे सुद्दां दिले जाल्यार इतलो त्रास जावचो नासलो. 8,000 7,500 8,000 इतलेच दिले जाल्यार आमकां खूब जातालें. आमचे 16,000 नाका आमकां. एक घराक उदक मागले इतले तरी उदक दिवंक जाय न्हू गव्हर्मेंटान आमकां. उदकाचो भरपूर त्रास. कितले दीस टँकर हाडटाली. आतां कोरोना जालो, लोकांक काम धंदो ना, पयशे ना. टँकराक पयशे घालताले लोक कितें करतलो. कामूय ना हांगा लोकांक. उदकूय ना, लायटूय ना, कितें करतले लोक. लोकांक सारके खूब त्रास जाता. उदकाचो इतलो त्रास जाला की विचारपाचें ना. नळ येता फक्त अर्दे वर 7 येता, 7:30 पौने 8 उदक वयता. ते बी इतलो बारीक उदक येता की एक 2,000 लिटरची टाकी सुद्दां भरना. इतलो उदकाचो त्रास. इतलो आमची टाकीच भरना बिल्डिंगाची. आमी बिल्डिंगान 3 जणांची टाकी एक घराक सुद्दां उदक पावना. उदकूच ना. कंप्लेन करून सकली सांगून सकली. PWDचे टँकर आमी हाडले ते आमकां बिल धाडटाली त्यांनी. तेजे पयशे घेतली त्यांनी. आमकां फकत कांयच ना. इतलो आमकां उदकाचो त्रास जाला.
Devendra Gankar for Herald TV.
The Murmugaon Port Trust was given 16,000 square meters of land by Manohar Parrikar, besides its already existing jurisdiction since 1963. With the Murmugaon Port Authority coming into force, does this more than generous allocation of jurisdiction over land and water make the people of the small state of Goa uncomfortable, with even Indian Navy breathing down their neck? You can watch the full debate on Herald TV's program Point Counterpoint on Herald TV and YouTube.
Will Murmugaon Port Authority have serious implications for occupations of coastal communities? Will occupations of locals be severely restricted since big corporates will get priority? Will the locals have to fight to save their land and occupations? Activists feel that the coast will be leased out by the Murmugaon Port Authority to corporates and occupations of locals will be severely restricted since the big corporates will get priority. Coal will be the dominant commodity operated through the MPA and locals will have to fight to save their land. We don't want the Chinese model. We want to save our land and environment, activists said.
आता ॲक्च्युली पळोवंक वचत जाल्यार MPT इज प्लेईंग अ मेजर एजंट रोल टू सेंटर. आतां हांगासर जे लँड ग्रॅबिंग तुमी आतां जे MPT आतां करपाक सोदता म्हणटा आमी. सो हे लँड आतां जे 16 लाख स्क्वेअर मिटर लँड इज नॉट अ स्मॉल अमाउंट. सो आतां हे जे लँड ते ग्रॅब या हे जे आतां लँड जे ग्रॅब करून आतां ते म्हणटा कितें आमी पोर्ट चलयतले म्हणून. ओके, व्हेरी गुड. आयज गोंयान एक्चुअली पळोवंक वचत जाल्यार पोर्टाक आतां हे MPT पोर्टाक म्हणटा ते व्हडलो बिझनस ना बिसायड्स कोल कितें. सो बिसायड्स कोल जर बिझनस ना जाल्यार इन शॉर्ट तुमी कोलूच हाडटले हांगासर. आनी एवरीवेर आतां कोल तुमकां हांगा हाडपाक सवाय पडटा. फॉर एक्झाम्पल अदानी JSW जे कोल हाडटा हांगा आनी दे वॉन्ट टू एक्सपांड इट. सो हांकां आमचे रिवर्स जे तेंच्यांनी आतां नॅशनलायज केले ते कित्याक जाय. रिवर्स तांकां कोल ट्रान्सपोर्टेशन करपाक जाय. सो आयज जे सगळे एक्वायर करून हे जे लँड ग्रॅबिंग चल्लां हे एक कोल लॉबी खातीर. आमी फ्रँकली उलोवया ते आनी लिपोवन कांय हे करपाचें ना. आमी फ्रँकली उलोवया की हे कोल लॉबी खातीर चल्लां कितें. आनी जे क्रॉनिक कॅपिटलिस्ट दिल्लीन बसले हे सगळे MPTक आतां एक मध्ये घालून सगळे ग्रॅबिंगाचें काम चालू केलां हेंच्यांनी. आनी आमचे जे लोक आहा आयज जे आमचे फिशरमॅन भाव झगडटा. आय स्टे इन वास्को मुर्मुगांव. आमचे खारेवाड्याचे भाव आपली घरां वाचोवपाक झगडटा. आयज तांकां इतले स्ट्रगल करचें पडटा की सडनली मदीं केन्ना येता आनी ते डेमोलिशन म्हणून हे करता कितें. आनी ते एक्चुअली एमपीटी कडेन पळोवंक वचत जाल्यार हे डॉक्युमेंटेशन म्हाका दिसना पीडीएचे डॉक्युमेंट तेंचे कडेन आसा कशें. ते फक्त सेंटराच्या एक्टाचेर येवन हे सगळे ग्रॅब करपाचें तेंच्यांनी आतां षडयंत्र केलां.
At that time, the government believed in the democratic principles of the constitution laid by B.R. Ambedkar. But today, the government is diverting. You cannot think that you can become like China. We know what is happening in China. Don't try to copy China or other Western countries. Today, we have seen Sri Lanka how it is going to a death knell. You are investing in one sector, and that is SEZs first came in thinking that there will be cheap form of goods. There will be more output. Exports will be more. Today, government is coming to the coastal areas. What are the implications? We have more than 2 crores who are dependent on fishing as their livelihood. We have tourism as one of the biggest backbone of especially Goa's industry. So certainly when you get such projects and which are not in the interest of the state and environment as a large, try to understand Goa is a very small state and it has a very ecological fragile ecosystem. That's why the CRZ had special consideration for Goa itself.
In the water we have fishing.
Yes.
Besides fishing, we have tourism activities. Okay, like you have your boat rides, etc.
That's right.
What will happen now is that in addition to your regular licenses, you will have to get a separate license from the MPA.
Right.
Now, who is MPA? MPA here again is not the government, and this is something interesting. MPA is not the government. They are looking at PPP model, which is private partnership. First thing. Why private partnership?
Public-private partnership.
Public-private. Why is it? It is showing that the ones who have actual control are not able to control. They are an incapable government. They are not able to raise the standard of their own government, nor are they able to raise locals to handle this. They should have had our own local corporations or institutes who are going to handle these areas. They are not able to. So even that they are giving on private partnership. Now who are these? They are big people. They don't look at one guy coming with a water sport jet ski trying to make business there. For him, he is nothing. So what will happen? They will start demanding their own rates. There is nothing mentioned about rates. There is nothing mentioned about the timing. Tomorrow they will say no, you are allowed to use it only from 9 in the morning to 12. After that we need it.
With the state being in the grip of a water crisis, one needs to make provisions for raw water for consumption and irrigation purposes, keeping in mind the next 10 years. There is need to construct reservoirs and water storage tanks along with irrigation canals. Cooperation Minister Subhash Shirodkar on Tuesday said that certain minor irrigation points at Madhe Basin have been identified to preserve water for Goans.
Keeping the next 10 years in mind, raw water storage should be increased in the state for consumption and irrigation. This can be achieved through construction of reservoirs and water storage tanks along with irrigation canals. Cooperation Minister Subhash Shirodkar said certain minor irrigation points are identified at Mahadai Basin in order to preserve water for Goans. Cooperation Minister Subhash Shirodkar said that it is necessary for dams to be constructed to supply water to villages. Shirodkar also spoke about the increase in price of Goa dairy products, claiming that dairy farmers deserve a raise for their hard work.
See, raw water issue na. Raw water storage as आमी वाडोवपाक जाय. Keeping in mind, next 25 years, 10 years, 20 years, there should not be any shortfall of water for public consumption as well as for irrigation. And in this context, we have to see that मुखाल्ल्या 5 वर्सां 10 वर्सां खातीर ज्या उदकाची गरज आसतली ते रिजर्वॉयर्स किंवा स्टोरेजर्स आमी वाडोवपाक जाय. सो इन दॅट कॉन्टेक्स्ट जेन्ना हांवें डिस्कस केलें तेन्ना म्हादई बेजीन जे आसा त्या बेजिना भितर खुबशे पॉयंट्स आसात. खुबशे पॉयंट्स आसात ज्या जाग्यार स्मॉल मायनर इरिगेशन प्रोजेक्ट्स आमच्यांनी करपाक जातात आनी करूंक जाय ते. सो हांवें हें केलां ते भशेन स्टडी केला ते भशेन लक्षांत येयला ते भशेन there are 2 points. One is Kazumor and other one is Tatodi.
Oh, identify केल्या.
Identify केल्ले आसा. सो ज्या जाग्यार आमी डिटेल सर्वे करची पडटली आतां रिक्वायर्ड NOCs घेवची पडटली फ्रॉम कन्सर्न डिपार्टमेंट्स आनी मागीर थिंगा तो प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट करचो पडटलो. पर्टिक्युलर दीस 2 प्लेसीस. आनी एक 2 जागे आसाय त्या जाग्यांनी डिटेल सर्वे करची पडटली. These will be in the forest तुजे आमचे सेंच्युरीज.
Okay.
Partly sanctuary, partly forest, private area. So that will, what I should say, require a lot of time. It is not just within 6 months or 1 year.
But that process will start.
Yeah. So what I have decided की मुखाले 10 वर्सां 15 वर्सां 20 वर्सां गोंयकारां खातीर गोंया खातीर जें उदक लागतलें तेजी उदकाची पुरवण किंवा साठो जो आसा रिजर्वायर जे म्हणटा पळय ते करपा संबंदी आमी फुडाकार पावल मारपाक जाय बोथ इन नॉर्थ एज वेल एज इन सावथ. उदक जें आसा पळय ओवरफ्लो जाता पळय न्ही पावसाक आनी पावसाच्या उपरांत सुद्दां थोडो तेंप दॅट इज वॉट वी हॅव टू स्टोर. And what is the best right place? It is minor irrigation dam. For example, at Moisar, जितले म्हणून उदक पावसाक निमाण निमाण येयलें तें सगळें थंय स्टोर जावन उरलें वीच वी आर युजींग प्लस परत मागीर आसता कितें सिपेज डॅमाक सिपेज न्ही दोंगरांतल्यान जें उदक येता तें उदक करेक्ट तें उदक उरता. सो दॅट इज टू बी यूज. आमकां उदकाची गरज आसा. सी देर आर सम विलेजस वीच हॅव आर नॉट येट प्रोवायडेड विथ अ ड्रिंकींग वॉटर. वी आर प्रोवायडींग वॉटर फ्रॉम बोरवेल्स. वी आर प्रोवायडींग वॉटर फ्रॉम ओपन वेल्स. अशे कितलेशे गांव आसतले. So for that purpose, we need construction of dams, minor energy projects.
So you are saying
funding. See, funding for government is not a problem. That's what you have seen in the फाटल्या इतल्याय वर्सांक funding जे आहा ते एक आसा.
Story by Devendra Gaonkar for Herald TV.
The contract workers of Institute of Psychiatry and Human Behavior Hospital GMC continue their protest at Azad Maidan Panaji for the 19th day. 28 IPHB contract workers who were removed from their job before their contract ended have requested the Chief Minister and Health Minister to take them back.
The IPHB contract workers' protest entered 19 days. 28 IPHB contract workers were removed from their jobs before their contract ended. The patient care attendants who worked for 9 years as contract workers requested the CM and the Health Minister to take them back to work. Patient care attendants who worked on contract basis for 9 years are replaced by a batch of new employees. Protesters said that it is difficult to find new jobs. They have families to feed and to pay their children's school fees. They reached out to the CM and Health Minister to take them back to work.
आज आम्ही हांगासर 19 दीस जाले आमकां हांगासर आमी आमच्या मागण्या खातीर आमी हांगासर आसा पूण आजून पर्यंत आमची कोणी वासपूस घेतली ना. तेन्ना आमी आजून पर्यंत आमी मागता आजून सीएमा कडेन आमचे माननीय मुख्यमंत्री कडेन हेल्थ मिनिस्टरा कडेन कित्याक आमकां मातशें बेगीन जाता ते पर्यंत आमकां मातशें कामाक घेवन आमकां हें करचें म्हणून. आतां आमची अशी परिस्थिती जाल्या आमकां 2 म्हयने पगार सुद्दां आजून आमचो कालचो मार्च म्हयन्याचो आमचो पगार जावंक ना मार्च म्हयन्याचो. आनी हाच्या फुडें आतां आमी आतां 15 तारखेच्यान हांगासर स्ट्रायकाक बसलेले आसा. पूण आतां ह्या 15 दिसाचो आमकां पगार नाच पूण तो कालचो मार्च म्हयनो सुद्दां आमचो पगार अजून जावंक ना. आनी सद्या आतां आमी जे आतां घरा कडसून येता पळय ते कशा परिस्थितीन येता पळय ते सांगूंक सुद्दां आमी शकना. म्हणजे आतां सद्या आमचे कडेन हांगासर जेवतलो सुद्दां जाल्यार आमचे कडेन पयशे ना. तेन्ना हांव माननीय मुख्यमंत्र्या कडेन आनी आमच्या आरोग्य मंत्र्या कडेन मागता मातशें उपकार करून इतले अशें आमचेर अशें कठोर जावन हें करूं नाका कित्याक आमचेर अशें उपकार करचे तेंच्यांनी सामकें. आनी आमकां मातशें एक आमचे फॅमिलीक आमचे भुरगीं बाळां आसा आवय बापूय आसा ती सगळीं आमचेर डिपेंडंट आसा. तांकां एक आमकां जर मातशें खंय तरी कामाक जर तेंच्यांनी हें केलें आमकां कॉन्ट्रॅक्टार सुद्दां जर दवरलें जाल्यार तांकां एक मातसो एक हेल्प जातलो अशें तेंचे कडेन हांव मागतां.
Devendra Gaonkar for Herald TV.
And that's all we have in today's news bulletin. Thanks for watching Herald TV News. For more news alerts, please follow us on Heraldo on Facebook and Twitter. Take care and goodbye.